I'm standing today in front of a large tree of Lithocarpus pachyphyllus. Lithocarpuses are evergreen oaks. Doesn't look much like an oak to many people, but it's a huge tree which was originally introduced from China in about 1903. And this is one of the very first acorns that was planted from this evergreen oak, and it's grown into the most massive tree. And people ask, what is the difference between a Lithocarpus or an evergreen oak and an ordinary oak? And we know that there are 600 or more species of oaks in the world, and probably only about 60 or 70 of them are evergreen. And the difference is in the production of the seed clusters. Whereas an oak tree has individual acorns in individual pods, a Lithocarpus has these enormous clusters of seeds. Originally the female flower stood up like that, and a male flower stood or drooped down beside it. Fertilization took place during the course of the summer. Through the summer, this enormous female flower cone swelled into these gigantic seeds. And if we look closely, we can see that there are tiny little acorns in many of these clusters. Some of them are too small to have an acorn in at all. And the reality is that only the ones which have gigantic acorns, like this one at the end, which I see that a squirrel has had a nibble at, but we can have a look at some other examples. And here are a couple of examples of really properly swollen acorns. And only the really large ones like this, which of course the squirrels like most, only the larger ones are capable of being grown. And if you're going to try and grow this acorn, you need plenty of patience. It needs to go into a cold frame. It can be planted now or in the spring, and obviously you've got to get down to the seed itself by removing the outer covering, and it might take me a minute to do this. And eventually we're left with the acorn itself. You can plant this now or in the spring. You need to plant it at about 3 or 4 inches in depth in somewhere which is completely free of mice or rats who will enjoy eating this lovely grape seed. So it needs to be either in a pot with a glass or a mesh covering over the top so that vermin like mice can't get in, or in a frame with concrete sides, so again no mice can get in. And the key thing about these seeds is that they take 2 to 3 years to germinate. So don't expect anything to come up in the first year. Don't chuck away the pot full just because it hasn't done anything in the first year. You need time and patience. Some of these seeds, if you plant a lot, will come up in the second year. Some may take even 3 or 4 years to germinate. But they will germinate, and when they do germinate, they germinate very vigorously. And the plants which you will find listed on our website and available in fairly small numbers, because these trees don't set seed properly every year, have been grown from a seed exactly like this. So they're direct descendants of the Chinese original, which Mr. Wilson collected in China 120 odd years ago.